The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today. And here we are. Here we are. I think we got the margarita sip in there. That was awesome.
There's going to be a lot of that.
I wouldn't want it any other way.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hold on. Let me grab my iced tea. Cheers.
Yeah.
That's moonshine, and you know it.
I wish it was. If it was brown, I'd be worried, though. You know? I hate making margaritas, by the way. I just like it was one of my pet peeves when I tended bar.
Oh, well, okay. Well, yeah, as a bartender, I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't even really like them. I don't think like I was trying.
All right, bud. All right. You got the wrong band on for that. All right.
But I love tequila, so
All right,
you know,
that's fair enough.
yeah.
Have you ever heard of Topaz tequila?
No,
Yeah,
no.
that's good.
Is it like $10 a jug?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my favorite is Casadores.
Oh, it's good shit, man.
Yeah, that nothing goes down smoother than that, man. We would do shots of that at work and just keep us going all night long, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, the Topaz will keep you going all night long, too, but like some kind of...
Like fever dream.
Yes, kind of fever dream, yeah. Like a hallucinogenic all night long.
Yeah.
For years, I thought I was allergic to vodka because I would just get violently sick. But it turns out if you spend a little extra money on the better stuff, it doesn't do that to you, you know?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like a bottle of Brunettes or Gordon's was like $8, you know? So we'd just go with that instead of Kettle One or whatever, you know?
I guess this is growing up, man. You know?
Yeah. I still love my shitty beer though. Like I'm always like, this is something about a $2 lager, you know? Like it hits.
I must have drank 10 Jenny Cream Ales on Saturday.
All right. Listen, no, I draw the line at Genesee.
Yeah, I got my On the Cinder shirt on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I fought with Mike over this before.
I remember that episode. Yeah.
I think we might have talked about this last time.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe I'm in the middle of a Topaz fever dream, but I think we talked about On the Cinder drinking Jenny Cream Ales.
Nothing was worse than like Genesee is the worst tasting beer I've ever had. However, Jenny Ice was pretty good.
Well, Jenny Ice will be strong enough that
it washes out all that bad flavor, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm simple. I'm a Narragansett, Paps. I just go for those guys, and you know. So, but welcome back, Girth Control. I was trying to think. Was it last year or the year before?
Fuck if we know. Dude.
Yeah.
Everything's a blur lately. I have no
And you're
idea,
drinking
man.
Topaz, right?
That's I didn't even consider that aspect, even though I was just talking about it. Oh Lord, man, was it?
Could have been last year.
It could have been last year.
Could've
When
been.
did the record come out?
Last year.
Last March?
Last
March.
Okay, yeah.
It seems like it's been so long.
Yeah. The older I've gotten, like life, I feel like when you get older, and it started happening in my 30s. So I think like the further you get closer to death, the days just go by quicker and you're more tired. You know,
For sure.
I just want to sleep and just die sometimes, you know, but
Yeah, dude, I've been falling asleep on the couch pretty regularly and a lot more out of nowhere, I would say. Like
yeah.
last night my wife was like, "All right, I'm going to go take a shower." I was like, "Cool." I was like, "Hey, well, she's up there. I'm just going to lay the long way on the couch, you know, really like enjoy it." I was passed out within 2 minutes, I would say. My dog came up and laid on me and I was like, "Yeah, I'm just going to rest my eyes." And it was just like, bam, 45 minutes later, I was like, what happened? So,
There's a rule at my buddy's house whenever I'm there. Like, I'll start, like, if I'm on the couch, I'm just sitting there, then I go 45 degrees. He's like, oh, 90's next, you know? And then I'm out.
I feel like you're writing Girth Control songs for
90s
us.
next.
90s
Yeah.
next, dude. Damn.
Write that down.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, yeah, I mean, you guys seem like you've been busy. I've missed you every time you've come to Boston, which sucks.
That's cool.
I
We'll be
apologize.
back.
I apologize for that. And then recently I sponsored a damn music festival that you guys played. I was gonna give you guys my tickets, and I realized you guys were playing it
Oh, that's right.
because it was up there in that area for Mr. P, Scott P.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. That guy's awesome.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Did you know him before, or you just met him since he's moved up that way? And
No, we just met him in like January, I think, for the first time. So
yeah, he's a cool dude. He
seen him
does a lot.
everywhere.
Yeah, he does a lot of good stuff too, man. So, but yeah, I was a sponsor for that show. What was it called? Something in the Valley, right?
Rally in the Valley.
Yeah.
Rally in the Valley. Yeah.
Well, I feel like the way Scott was going was going to be a booting rally in the Valley. You know? Like, guy was partying.
Yeah. Yeah. Right on. Yeah, I know. He has a podcast, and I do his producing for him for it. So
Cool.
yeah, so he sent me the tickets, and I was like, of course I got to work. My work schedule has been sucking when it comes to like aligning with show weekends and stuff like that. But
You gotta quit, man. You gotta quit that job.
I'm thinking about it. Hey, they might do me the favor. I don't know. Who knows? They've been restructuring. You know.
You gotta start podcasting on company time, dude. And
Oh yeah.
kill two birds with one stone. You know?
If I was working from home, that's all I would do. But I have to go somewhere, which sucks. But
All right, we got him. All right, this was
Yeah.
a sting. This is a sting from your company. We caught him.
so we're gonna talk about Life's Too Short Part 2, but before we do, I want to ask you guys something. I think I remember you telling me about what this person did with some of your songs. The was it the techno guy or?
Oh.
Yeah.
And those made it to this, right?
Yeah, we ended up with Levia. Levia
Yeah,
was the
Levia? I don't actually
Levia?
don't know how to say it. We've never heard it out loud.
Levia. We've never met them. It was a person out in
Sweden?
Sweden
Yeah.
who sent us a message and they wanted to remix our song, and we said, well, that's hilarious, so obviously yes. And then they did a remix of Beer Every Bong, and then they ended up doing like a second remix of it that was even better than the first one, but they kind of got us rolling on this remix idea. So we had their remix of Beer Every Bong. We asked our friend Chris Jordan to do what we referred to as like a German techno remix of Work Shirts. And then my friend Todd Richards, who I went to high school with, who's a really amazing drummer and great like reggae. I don't want to say reggae historian, but to me he is, because he's the guy I know who listens to the most reggae and plays the best reggae drums and shit. But
Oh yeah, I heard
like-
that Rocksteady beat. What song was that? That was the third one, I think, right?
yeah, that was
Never Ending Coffee.
Never Ending Coffee.
yeah,
So we
yeah.
asked him, as the guy who I trusted most to do that, if he could do like kind of a dub remix of Never Ending Coffee, and everyone really knocked it out of the park, man. they did an awesome job.
So did it was the Levia was that the first remix, and then you're like, oh, we should do something with like we should have these get done like that, or
Yeah,
I think that like inspired it.
we were like
Definitely,
remixes of Girth Control. We never thought about that before. That's a hilarious idea.
it's amazing. Yeah.
And so then it just kind of
I think we showed it to Chris, and then Chris like took work shirts and did his own thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think we threw the idea that the German techno remix.
Yeah.
That's all we said to Chris for the work shirts one, and we knew he would do a good job with that. He's pretty psycho, so and he crushed it.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Like these are like party anthems, you know. So
they all turned out so much better and gave so much more. I don't want to say they made the songs more legit, but I don't know. They put so much work into them. I feel like it really made Girth Control, to me, when I listened back to it, made Girth Control feel more like a real thing. Like, oh yeah, we got remixes, man. That's how real we are.
I mean, I feel like at least beer every bong, like there's some like underground club in Sweden that's pumping that, right? Like,
I fucking really hope so.
That's the dream. I think that's what we might have told Chris, was like, this needs to be like, you know, think about being on ecstasy in a Berlin nightclub at 3 a.m. Like, that's what you're listening to. And he nailed it.
yeah.
So yeah, I hope all over Europe and perhaps some of the Caribbean islands, there are Girth Control remixes bumping somewhere.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I hope.
That would be,
You're going to Europe, right, Bob? You know, hit up a night.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
You got to go do research in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
just like walk around and play the song and see if someone's like, oh, you know.
See if a guy in a mesh shirt is like, I'm trying to refrain from like trying to do a voice or something.
Yeah.
So that's all I got.
Yeah.
Mesh shirt and That's it.
And then we have "Life Is Too Short" Part 2, which is like this song. This song, guys, like it starts off as like a Guns N' Roses song, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and then it kicks into, you know, what you guys do towards the end of it. But like I was listening to this, I was like, huh, they went a completely and I loved it though. Like it was like this is awesome. Like this is like, and I had that moment like there was like a guitar solo in it, and I'm like, that's like Guns N' Roses.
Straight up, yeah.
Absolutely.
Like dad rock.
Yeah.
You know.
That's,
So this song, did you have this for Life Is for the first album, for Life's Too Short?
yeah, I mean that was the original plan for the album Life's Too Short for Girth Control.
For Girth Control, yeah.
Yeah, was that it was like going to be this double LP that begins with an intro that is the, like, you know, that is a part of the final song, which is going to be this like 8-minute epic. That was the idea, was to bookend this double album with these two things that are like the same thing. But then we were recording it and recording it and recording it. And, you know, we recorded it in Jay's basement over the course of like a few years, and we were hyped the whole time, but it's like we just get together once a week. Maybe if we're pushing to get something done, we might like get together an extra day, but for the most part, we're just getting together once a week and trying to accomplish what we can. And by the time that we were like 25 songs deep into this thing, and it had been a few years,
Yeah.
And we had our friend Chris from Insidious Industries from Do It With Malice wanted to put it out, and we realized, like, for all these reasons, like if we record this long song, it's going to be too long to fit on one record. If we don't feel like recording this long song right now because we are still excited, still hyped, but also like have been doing this for a few years and would like to put it out. And we just knew that it was going to be, quite the undertaking to finish and record.
Yeah.
What we've always referred to as the long song. So, I'm really glad that we didn't try and force it onto the album. And we also realized we think that, the full length is awesome. It's like 25 songs, but
I'm impressed that you fit 25 songs on a vinyl.
Yeah, some of the fidelity might have been lost a little bit, but
they just barely fit. Pushed it. Yeah, we pushed it.
It's like 45 minutes, so. But we realized, 45 minutes of Girth Control, 25 songs, that's a lot to ask anybody. That's a lot to ask people to listen to and pay attention to. If we put this song at the end of this thing, there's no fucking way that anyone's gonna be hyped. They're gonna be like, oh my god, a fucking 8-minute song at the end of this. So I think we definitely made the right choice, because then we got to put out the album, be hyped. People enjoyed it, and then we got to, after a few months, start again working on the long song and really, focus on it, which it needed.
Yeah.
I want to talk about you've got a bunch of people on the song itself, right?
Yeah.
Let's dig into that. So who's featured on here?
So we got some Massachusetts royalty on this thing.
Yeah.
Got Justin from Power Up played trombone, which we've been wanting to do for a long time. So that was awesome. He did a great job. Brian from Power Up recorded it and did a killer job with it. And then our friend Matt Elia, who we were in a band with many years ago called Public Access, came up and played tenor sax. So that's our horn section, is my two favorite horn players. And then we got Heather from Pink Slip to do the best guest verse on this thing. So, she knocked that out of the park. They're another awesome Boston band that I think we met them at Faces, actually, not long after we talked to you last time.
Yeah.
Heather and I'm blanking on his name, but Heather and another person from Pink Slip were just hanging out at the show, so we got to meet them there. And we've been friends online ever since, and we had this idea for a female vocal part, and Heather was the first person we thought of. She did an awesome job with it.
So did the original part 2 song have this, or were you guys working on it? First, I want to ask, was it intentionally supposed to be 7 minutes long, 8 minutes long?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It was longer at one point.
Oh, okay.
But it was always the idea of can we write our decline, can we do
Jesus of Suburbia was another one that we kept coming back to
Yeah. All right, so the second part is so did you always have this idea to have all these maybe not everyone who was on it, but all these different ideas to put it together? You know what I mean? We need a woman vocalist for this, and we want this trombone, you know what I mean? Or is that kind of just maybe we can do this while you're doing it? Was it sketched out that way, I guess?
Yeah, this was totally my mad scientist moment. So we had the idea to do this long song, and we had a bunch of different parts that we had written just for various things that didn't work out. And I wound up sort of putting them all together into this wild demo at one point. And all the ideas were there. So there were ideas for horns, there were ideas for a female vocal part. So that it was always in mind, and we just needed to find the right people for it. And we did. So
that's awesome.
It's wild to hear it, because we were sitting on the demo for probably 3 years.
Yeah. So did you just send it to them and they did their parts, or did they did you all meet up, or?
We recorded Matt's part because he lives pretty close to us, so he's an hour away. So he came up to record the saxophone. But Justin and Heather did their stuff remotely. So pretty cool that they could do that and it would turn out so well.
Yeah. No. It turned out to be. I love that song. I was listening to it again right before we started. Actually, I was I want to hear that song again.
I feel just the kind of the remixes in a weird way elevated Girth Control. When I first heard Heather's vocal,
yeah,
it was it was like, damn, this is a Girth Control song with like someone's this talented on a fucking Girth Control song. So yeah, she fucking took our idea and just absolutely knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, because like we sent her a demo of us singing it, and it sounded like garbage.
yeah. We were like, do it like this, but like, way better.
Good.
And she was like, okay. And then it was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
I couldn't even have conceived of how much better it was going to be.
Yeah.
So does that mean if you guys play Massachusetts again, we're going to have someone else singing with you guys, or?
I don't think we'll ever fucking play this song. I really hope that.
Yeah, I would love to. Like, I don't know if we could do the whole thing, but like, we're working on something with Pink Slip for Boston that I hope works out. But it would be fun to like at least do that chunk of it.
That's a good idea. I like that idea.
Like maybe we just do like a minute of it, just like the best part of the song.
Yeah.
I want to hear the whole thing, man.
Yeah, we would need to be the extended Girth Control universe for that. We need like 8 more people up there.
It's the thing that I never considered until now. We're 10 years deep into Girth Control. We have like so many fucking songs, and now one of them is 7.5 minutes long, but. Like, we played our 10-year anniversary show in September, and we wanted to make it, like, a really good show and, like, really long. Like, it was, like, the longest show we ever played. We played for, like, I don't know, over an hour. It was, like,
wow.
Arguably too much Girth Control. But we wanted to make sure that we were just, like, this is for our friends, the diehard motherfuckers. 10 years of Girth Control. It never should have happened, so let's do it. So... we had so many songs, and we played so many of them, and we had to relearn all this shit. And I never think of that when we're, like, come up with stuff. It's like, people might actually want us to play these. Like, we have to actually know how to play these, plus all the other ones.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we really kind of fucked ourselves a little bit with this long one, I think. But we just got to hold strong. We can't do it. Don't ask us to do it. Unless it's like Riot Fest or something. If Riot Fest wants us to come out and play the long song in full, I'll put it on
Throw
record
it out
now.
there right now. Yeah.
We will. Yeah. We'll do it for Riot Fest.
So let me ask you. So you had a 10-year anniversary show, and you played for over an hour. Do you have to prepare yourself, not just like learning the songs, but like before you get on stage, for an hour-long set as opposed to like, a 12?
No,
I would say I wish I prepared myself better. Yeah.
That's on the Cinder's fault.
On the Cinder ruined us that night.
Yeah.
That was it. But
on the Cinder decided it would be a funny gag, which it was.
Very funny.
They went to the store, they bought gallons of water, dumped them out, and filled them with various malt liquors and as never-ending 40s, and gave us each our own gallons. You each had a gallon of malt liquor.
So yeah, like Colt 45 and Old English,
like mixed together.
I think there was Steel Reserve in there too.
I tell you what, I felt like there was Steel Reserve in there.
Steel Reserve is like my favorite of them all.
St. Ides is my pick. St. Ides, but
it used to be Crazy Horse, but I think they stopped making that one.
I don't know if I ever had that one.
Oh, it was a delight. Then Steel Reserve kind of came around, and I was like, all right, we'll go with this one. Yeah.
So we prepare. We chugged gallons of malt liquor, and then we had to go play 2 more. We had to go like travel and do shows. I felt like such shit.
Yeah. Where did we go that weekend?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I was hammered the whole weekend. I don't know where we went, dude. No, we went to. I think we went to Dave's, and then we went to.
I was at Dave's that weekend.
And then we went to Western Mass.
Oh, gotcha.
For the matinee, and yeah.
Yeah. Just malt liquor sweat all weekend.
So yeah, we practiced all the songs. We thought that was what we had to do, but yeah, we didn't know electrolytes or just malt liquor.
Just malt liquor.
Yeah, so
you should have picked up some Pedialyte and just chased it with that.
That would have been the smart thing to do.
Should have just added it to the gallon of malt liquor.
They made those little packets. That would have been
maybe.
The only reason why I know this stuff is because I've made mistakes in my life, and I was like, "What's gonna help me better this time?"
Yeah.
So,
I think you're our new manager.
Yeah, it sounds like. Yeah.
I think I could be. I think that would be awesome. Or either that or really disastrous for all of us. Like what?
Well, you're quitting your job, right? So you can
Yes.
manage.
Yeah. I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to go on the road with Girth Control, and we're going to
That's
rip it.
upwards of 13 dates a year, brother. I don't know.
Yeah. We're going to rip it through every town and city and show people how to party. That's what we're going to do. So those days are long behind me. However, I would come out of retirement to party with Girth Control, I think.
Hell yeah.
At least once. At least you got to make it to at least one show.
Just to see if I can still stand, like
Can you still skank? Have you ever skanked?
No, I don't do that stuff. No.
You don't skank?
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, I am one, but
But you don't. Man.
no, I'm not a big dancer guy person.
Oh, we'll get you. Once
Once the
that
Steel
Girth
Reserve.
Control, once the Steel Reserve hits and you
If
got
I
Girth
show up in a
Control-
Hawaiian shirt, just know it's on, okay?
All right.
Because if I'm going to party, I'm going to party in comfort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's right.
wear your best muumuu and get feel the breeze.
In a kilt, so just let everything flow.
Yeah.
However you're comfortable, whatever's gonna get you skanking.
Right on. Yeah. So all right. So you should have prepared for this thing, but instead you drank gallons of malt liquor instead.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, we practiced the song.
Practice. Yeah. We had to
Well, no,
learn.
yeah. I mean, I just feel like there's got to be a headspace.
Yeah.
to
We
go
should have
that long.
we should have been training.
Yeah.
We practiced. We did not train.
If it was a Rocky montage, it would just
Yeah.
be us practicing, going, "Yeah, sounds pretty good," and then us chugging malt liquor, and then me waking up the next day and having to mop my house because on the cinder state there, and my wife was like, "It's filthy in here," and I was like, "Okay," and I gotta mop the house and go to fucking Scottish Dave's. It'd be the worst montage ever, but.
All right. So where was that show? Was it in Albany?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
in Troy.
Yep.
It was in Troy. It was in
Yeah,
Troy.
it's the same. I mean, pretty much the same fucking.
Yeah. Are you guys are in Troy or Albany?
Yeah, I mean, technically
Yeah.
more Troy than Albany, but
We're all over the place.
we're in the capital region,
Gotcha. Yeah.
But it's it's all the same shit.
Yeah.
It's easier to say Albany because people know what that is. Kind of.
I know what Troy is though. So
Yeah.
yeah, I dated someone from out there. Oof.
Oh boy.
All right, so tell me. Also, I see on the Bandcamp since the last time we talked, Scottish Daves. There's a song.
Oh yeah, yeah, no shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Scottish Dave's a song.
Yeah.
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 For is it a venue, Scottish Daves? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You owe
Oh,
it
it's
to
in
yourself.
Connecticut. It's the one in Clinton,
Yeah.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to go out there sometime. It's the best.
Yeah, I've never been. I've never been to that place, but I know tons of people that go by there. So you wrote like a tribute song?
Yeah, I mean, basically, how many? Counting when we were out there last, that was the third or fourth time we've been there.
Something like that.
Yeah, third or fourth, something like that.
Basically, Scottish Dave is the nicest, coolest, raddest guy on the planet. Awesome bar. Great place to play shows. There's a nice, nice for a $100 motel room within walking distance of Scottish Dave. So it's become, every year or so we're going to fucking Scottish Dave's and we're staying at the Clinton Motel and we're shutting down the bar with Dave at the end of the night, listening to all his stories and shit. Listening to him talk about coming up playing punk and just being a scoundrel and all that shit. I could listen to Scottish Dave talk and tell jokes. If I lived there, I would be in so I would be
Yeah.
I'd be living at the Clinton Motel.
I think it's the only place I've seen in America where you can get Tenants on draft, which is like a Scottish beer. Dave's from Glasgow. Like Mark said, great to shoot the shit with. just opened up a bar in this quaint little New England.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. I would
town.
never. When people told me that there was like a venue there, I'm like, what? Because like there's yeah.
But he's become a legend, I think, in the northeastern like ska scene. Just because of how fucking cool the shows are. You know, the people come out to this random ass little bar, and it's all because Dave's the fucking man. Great place.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was the the least we could do, and it was actually I forgot that we recorded that song, burned it.
Yeah.
We burned it onto CDs, brought it there, and then we didn't release it for like
we did
year.
That was like 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago.
And then we were like, when we were going back to Scottish Dave's around the record release and shit. I guess or maybe it was when the 10-year show, whatever. We were like, oh, we should put that song out as like a way to promote the show, and also people, like from Gardy from CT Ska and shit was like, can you guys digitally release Scottish Dave so that I can use it, like in like promo and like TikTok videos or whatever the fuck, and Instagram stories.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh yeah, we didn't think of that. Like, yeah. so yeah.
That's great.
He got a sick. Didn't he get a sick video of like he had like some real deal Scottish bands coming through?
Oh yeah.
And he got like a video of them like playing it around the fire and shit, like singing the Scottish Dave song and shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna.
So you wrote like the official like theme song for this place.
Yeah, that's the hope. Yeah, that's what we wanted to do. Dave was stoked about it. That's all we really wanted. So
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I'm trying to think where this would be in Clinton, to be honest with you.
It's not. It's a very small. It's like one street, like this.
Yeah, it's very close to the train station, like in that strip.
Maybe, yeah. I went out there last year. Yeah, I think my sister got married out at some farm that was in Clinton.
Was Scottish Dave the priest?
No.
I thought he was going to be the new pope. I was hoping today. I was like, please be Scottish Dave.
How long has it been there? Do you know?
Oh,
no idea.
I think he said it's been over 10 years at this point.
That's awesome.
I don't know how long they've been doing shows, but
because I'm trying to think. Like, the first time we came out there was probably it was a while ago, probably like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Before COVID for sure. It was.
So I grew up about 45 to 50 minutes away from there, and we would go up there because they had like these like outlet stores in Clinton. And we would go out there for that. But if I knew, if it was there when I was a kid, like, I think I would go. I've been having this, like, weird... So, like, I moved away from my hometown because I just couldn't take... just didn't like a lot of people there, you know? But, like, one of the things is, like, I felt like they were, like, destroying this town that was, like, an old New England town that was, like, on the coast and, you know, and then... They started the downtown area had all these like little trees, and then when they made like condos above all like the businesses, they complained about the birds, so they chopped them all down, like that kind of shit, you know.
Yeah. They were like executing birds in the middle of the street. They're like,
so I've like, and I kind of so like when I left there, I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then like in recent months, like fucking like Lenny Lashley's played there. I'm like, what? Like when I was young, when I was getting into like punk rock and shit, and like I found out like Darkbuster was gonna play there, I would have been nuts. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
you know, it is what it is. I'm happy that they're getting some kind of art culture there that's growing, because if it was always like anyone who played music, like original music, just didn't make it there. You know what I mean?
What town was that?
Westerly, Rhode Island, Misquamicut Beach. I don't know.
We haven't been to Rhode Island.
This little area in Rhode Island.
One day.
But
working on it.
Did you guys freeze? There you are. Okay.
Oh yeah.
It froze for a second. I was like, oh no. But no. So like, it's just, but they're starting to do stuff down there now, so I'm pretty happy for them. But I'm here, and I don't care about there anymore. But Clinton, it's probably the same distance for me here than it was from there, so I should go there more often. So.
Well, next time we're either in Scottish Dave's or in Boston or something.
Worcester
Worcester.
Yeah. You got something coming up in Springfield, don't you?
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
I do
the
my
flyer
research.
pulled up so I could remember all the bands that are playing. But yeah,
I don't have that. Hold on. What is this?
it's the
I clicked the link.
Oh no, I
clicked
got
the
it. We
link.
got it. We got it. We got it on the screen.
All right, cool.
We're super pro over here.
Yeah, tell me about this.
Yeah, Pioneer Valley Ska Fest 2. We did the first one last year. It was a blast, and they're making it even bigger this year. So 2 days. It's at an old church in Springfield called 52 Sumner, I believe. So yeah, July 25th and 26th, we're playing on Saturday. Catch 22, who was my favorite band growing up, is playing. Skarmy of Darkness, which is the greatest band ever from Massachusetts, is doing their first reunion show in like 15 years. So that was another band like I grew up seeing. They just crushed. They were like this insane, like heavy ska punk band, like fully chaotic, hard to describe, but awesome band. So they're playing. Power Up's playing. Just a ton of like great bands.
River City Rebels are
River City
playing.
Rebels, yeah.
And
Another band
their
that
new
I
ska
loved.
band, Steppin' Razor Blades.
Yeah,
That's their
yeah.
new ska band, right?
Yep.
That's tight. Green Street Fiends, they're good buds of
Yeah,
ours.
good friends. The Best of the Worst is playing. We're actually doing a Friday night show in our neck of the woods in Albany with Power Up and The Best of the Worst before we head to Pioneer Valley Ska Fest. So we're doing like the Pioneer Valley Ska Fest West. And yeah, Agonizers and Scapository from Long Island, Mega Infinity from Long Island. Just a ton of awesome bands. So it's gonna be a blast.
Is that a 1 day thing or is it?
The fest is 2 days. So Friday
Okay.
night, I think Spring Heel Jack is playing Friday night. Don't quote me on that, but that's the other headliner. But yeah, they're gonna have a really good Friday night there, and Saturday is like all day. So it'll be cool. It's gonna be a fun.
That's
one.
awesome. That's awesome. And Girth Control is going to be there. That's what.
And Girth Control will be there. Yeah.
Don't forget that part.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting, man. Like we've been doing shows. So this is put on by 413 Ska, which is a guy named Eric who I believe moved to the area. I'm not sure where he's originally from, but he like started putting shows on maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And they started really small. He just was like a big fan and like kind of got it going. It was a new thing to him. He's not like a musician. I don't think he had promoted shows before, so he was just kind of figuring it out. And he's just been trucking along, doing cool stuff, and the shows keep getting bigger and bigger. And he's like, I think really helped start a like Western Mass ska and punk scene again.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So there's a ton of great bands out there. So of course they're a big part of it too. But I think having Eric just like constantly pushing and doing cool stuff has been huge for that area. So
yeah,
we love coming out there. It's always a good time.
That's awesome. So you guys, I feel like you guys played a lot of shows last year, right?
Yeah, we did for us for sure.
Yeah, for us, yeah, and we. I don't even fucking remember.
It's all a blur. Yeah.
We did a bunch of weekends. We played some cool. We did Auto Shrunken Head. We did Dave's.
Yes.
We did a bunch of Western Mass shit. We played out in Buffalo last year for sure.
Yeah.
The record release.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, we had our record release show last year in Albany, and we've played a few really good shows in Albany. We opened for Save Ferris, which was fun. That was a kind of a last minute thing, but it ended up being really fun.
Yeah.
And then very recently, only a couple weeks ago, we played This Is Not Croydon Fest, which is like outside of Philly.
Okay.
And that was probably the best show we ever played. It was awesome. And
So there was no gallons of 40s at this.
No, it was at a brewery. So
It was open bar.
We just chugged it straight from the hop.
So is alcohol like the magic power? Like is that what?
We played first on
We
Saturday.
played first on
so-
at Croydon. Yeah, we played first. That was the key. That's the magic power. We have a saying in Girth Control that's the firster we go, the drunker we can get. That's our motto. But the reality of it is that we don't get any less drunk if we play later. We just play shittier later. So it's not really even that good of a motto because we just can't. I don't know. We can't control it. Is alcohol the magic? No. Ska.
Yeah,
And
Ska's
punk
the
music is the magic.
Yeah.
alcohol is just
It's just there.
it's just there, and we can't resist.
No doubt, no doubt. As you guys drink your margaritas.
Yeah, but I mean, got to loosen up here.
Do you prefer frozen ones to just over ice, or
I do personally. I think they're more.
Yeah, I
tolerable?
yeah.
I mean, I love them all. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
we saved up when we first started the band. Our first goal, our only goal, was to get enough money to buy a Bongzilla beer bong, 6-person beer bong at Spencer's Gifts for $60 and 340s, and we did that within I think 2 shows. We had enough money to buy the Bongzilla beer bong and 340s, and we said, "Fuck, man, we already reached our only goal as a band."
Where do we go?
Let's just
Where do
have
we go from
fun.
here?
Let's just
So-
have fun.
No, we always have a goal. So our goal is to get a Margaritaville blender. So once we got the Margaritaville margarita machine, that's what lends us to the frozen margarita. It's, we
Is
got
that what you're using right now? Is that what you use today?
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
The same one?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so there's some durability in this
Yes.
product.
It's a great
It's
product.
a perfect
dude.
machine.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, we've had it for, I guess it's probably been a good 5 years actually
Yeah,
now.
about 5 years. Yeah.
It took a few years to save up for the Margaritaville.
Yeah,
Had to play a few extra shows to
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Hey, like I said,
So yeah, frozen margaritas they're delicious. And so refreshing. I like a regular margarita over ice, but I just like I grew up I loved drinking slush puppies. I loved
Yeah.
that shit, man. I want the refreshing icy chunky goodness.
All right. What tell me what do you guys have what do you guys have coming up next? Is not as far as shows, but is there another LP in the works or anything like that?
Yeah, we got ideas, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have we got a little pause in shows now, so we're excited. We're gonna do some recording. But yeah, we've got ideas, I think, for 2 new LPs and then some re-recordings of things that we started. Our first album was recorded live in our old basement, and it's great. And it was it's a perfect kind of portrait of the time, right? It's exactly what we were. It sums up our friends in that basement at that time really, really well. But we never made good recordings of those songs, so we're thinking about doing that. That's in the works. So it would be the 10-year anniversary of that album coming out this year.
Nice.
That album's called What Got You Stoked.
Right.
What Got You Stoked in the first
Yeah.
place.
So
Yeah.
our goal is to do sort of a deluxe edition with some new recordings. So that's probably the first thing. But then we've got a couple of LPs worth of ideas in the works too.
That's awesome. Don't
This
stop
year, next year, we'll see.
Yeah, don't stop this train, man. You guys, when I listen to you guys, I always know I'm gonna have a smile on my face when I'm listening, because it's
That's it, man.
you guys have a lot of fun with what you do, and they're fun songs, but they're also relatable. I think we talked about that last time. Like your songs are relatable. Especially for someone like me that fucking is just was a fucking drunk and shitbag, and you know what I mean, but and had to grow up. You know what I'm saying?
We had this this at the show we just played on Saturday. We played a show in Troy, and it was an awesome show. Our friend Kim put on this great local festival, 8 bands, all different styles of music, and brought out a lot of different people who maybe wouldn't necessarily see Girth Control. And at the end of the night, this chick came up to me and Jay, and she was it was such a odd compliment, but I know she meant it as a compliment.
Right.
But she came to us at the end of the night and she goes, You guys were fucking awesome. You make me feel like I could be in a band, because it's I don't have to be able to sing good or anything. I could just be in a band. I don't actually have to be able to sing. And we were like, well, good. Yes.
yeah.
I mean, that's true. That is the point of Girth Control. We want people to be like,
I could do that.
Yeah, we want, and that's probably one of my favorite compliments that we've gotten. We got it at Croydon Fest too, and a guy came up and said, "Hey man, I was listening to you guys, and I felt like I could start my own band. I wrote a song called Asparagus Piss," and we were like, "Hell yeah, man!" Like, you just so that's my two favorite compliments that we receive relatively often is that we make people smile and we make people feel like they themselves can start their own band.
And
as stupid as it can be, it doesn't. You don't have to be talented.
You don't have to be prolific, and but there is something to that. Like, and like what I said, like it definitely isn't like a dig. You know what I mean? But
no,
like,
of course not.
Yeah. So, but I totally get what you're saying because like it's kind of like how when I started writing, like. And like really, really, like as I got older, I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, I'll never be as good as all these prolific authors that are like, super like metaphorical. And then I found some that like write direct like me, and I'm like, oh, that works too. So I think that's where they're coming from. Like they don't have to, like just speak in metaphors and do concept album. You know what I'm saying? Like they can kind of just like. Like just have fun with it. And I think that's a huge thing. Like there's so many, I mean, the tortured artist is a real thing, but like, you guys are like, nah, we're going to have margaritas and sing some songs. You know what I mean? Like there's,
it's it all comes from the same place. I mean, I feel like any sort of like good, you can't force like connecting with people and shit. You can't force like connecting with other bands. I think that the thing that we recognizing that everybody has something to bring to the table, like just by being yourself, that's kind of like the thing that we try and celebrate and kind of embrace that idea that like, if we're playing with Power Up, like we can't fucking be as good as Power Up.
No.
But we can be as good as Girth Control. Like we can do our own thing. We can do our thing in our own way. And we can, and like when we played Croydon, that was a big deal for us because there's a lot of really legit bands on that show.
So you guys are a legit band though. Like,
but it helped, after that show, it was like, I know that we're, like, we're Girth Control and we're having a good time and we're fucking off, but we didn't feel out of place. We felt like we were just doing our own version of this thing. Yeah. And we didn't feel like fucking losers who just happened to fucking be there. It's like, no, man, you put in the work, you try and be a good person and be creative and, embrace the things about yourself that make you, important to the world, potentially. And then, fucking some cool shit can happen. You can at least play some shows and fucking talk to some cool people and shit. So we're having a good time. We're having a really good time, man.
No, that's awesome. And that's all. And that's like, that might've been like the clip I'm gonna make too, like the best clip ever. Because like, and that's that reflects in all of your art, everything you guys do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, like, you gotta, like, I'm sure you guys could be the tortured artist if that's what you wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? But like, I mean,
that's what I feel like, and like, right. I mean? That's what I am.
And we've done that. Like, we did that with other bands,
right?
And I don't know necessarily torture's the right word, but we,
I know, yeah,
we definitely like
it was. I'd say struggling artists.
Struggling for sure.
Yeah. We don't really struggle anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's the reason why like Jay and I's old band, like we only put out 2 EPs. Like we struggled to like write these songs that like meant something or whatever, and like Girth Control came about as a total like, counterpoint to that shit. We're like, fuck it, let's write about beer and that there's too many dudes at the bar and just shit that we're living,
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool because it just flows right out of us,
Life,
it can never end. We never think, like, we never get too wrapped up in like, oh, is this chord progression like the same as a chord progression in another song? It's like,
Right.
who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter, dude. It's not like we just. It's helped especially too we all have been in multiple bands for a long time, and this is the first year, where for this whole year, we just said no. Like, no, we're not. I'm not doing any other bands. I'm not recording with anybody else. I'm not playing shows with anybody else. Nothing. Girth Control only. This is my being able to say, like, no, this isn't a side project. This isn't a joke band. This isn't a thing that I'm doing to blow off steam because I'm really a tortured artist and I need to make sure everyone knows how serious I am. Like, no, this is me. Like, this is the realest version of me and the best version of me that I could be is in Girth Control. And everything's gotten so much better since we fucking accepted that as the truth. And as since we said no, this is us.
Yeah. And I feel like that part is what people are going to relate to the absolute most, is just like being you. You know what I mean? Like, going back to what you said, like what a couple people had said about like being in a band, or now they think they can do it. Like, I think that's a huge compliment.
It is. It's totally, fucking the best. I'm not being sorry. That is the best compliment we can get. Even if it's hilarious when I think about people's choices of words.
Right. And that could be them just afraid too, like, to talk. You know what I mean?
They're like, oh, you suck, and that I suck too. I can suck. Yeah, we can all suck. Yeah, we all suck ass. Oh yeah.
Oh man. All right, so look for more Girth Control in 2025 then. Is that we're gonna do the re-release? Yeah,
I think I'm hoping that we do this. Are we talking? We're just gonna talk about it. We're fucking doing it.
Yeah,
and if it doesn't come out, then
works,
whatever.
yeah.
But I think it's gonna come out because we already started doing some of the like basic tracks for it. And our goal is to have it out in at least this year to commemorate the 10-year anniversary of What Got You Stoked in the first place. With some, because the first album, I mean, the whole thing was, man, wouldn't it be funny if we never put out a normal album? So the first album's a live album, the second album is a full length that fits on a 7-inch, the third album is a double LP.
Right.
But now we're realizing that, like, okay, that's kind of we're kind of running out of dumb shit to do. Maybe we should actually make, like, we still play all of the songs off the first album. They're still kind of like the best ones we ever wrote, because it was kind of a lightning in a bottle thing, and we love those songs and everybody loves them. And a lot of the recording, it's like, we didn't take the band seriously. We thought it was just going to be like a fucking 6 months or so, so we didn't know we were going to keep doing this for 10 years and that people were going to care. So giving it the respect it deserves, just like everything with this past year, just giving Girth Control the kind of respect it deserves, give those songs the recordings they deserve, so that people can add them to their playlists and shit, and not have it be like, 2 minutes of me talking about the Water Boy, and then Too Many Dudes starts, or whatever the fuck happens on the album, or like, know. So we're hoping that that'll come out, that we can really hammer that out, ride this momentum that we're on, and hammer that out this year.
I like the title of that first album. Like, that's a good question to ask somebody.
That's the fucking basis of the entire band. That's
the whole band.
That's the most. That's the. I mean, I always say, like, it's. Maybe we haven't played it at a few shows, but it's very usually like 95% of the shows we played, and probably everyone will ever play from now on. It's the last song we play. We've started a few shows with it because we thought it'd be fun, but it's the last song we play. It's the best song we'll ever write. It's the most important song that we could ever write, because What Got You Stoked in the first place is the entire point of the band. It's the entire point of music to us. It's the entire point of continuing on doing this, at any capacity, whether you're, doing it just in your room, even if you're just listening to music, even if you're just going to see a band, even if you're just, the thing that makes you get through your day and feel okay, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be playing music. It doesn't have to, it's just remembering the things that make you you, and the things that bring you joy and give you purpose in life. You know, what got you stoked in the first place is
It's amazing.
it's the most important. I feel like it once we said it, it just became like part of. It's like my mantra. It's like my whole fucking my religion. Girth Control is my religion, I would say.
Yeah. Our friend Kim, who we mentioned earlier, put on a show that we played last weekend. So in the album artwork for the original "What Got You Stoked in the First Place," all the lyrics are written out on the whiteboards that we had in the basement. So they're just photos of the whiteboards. And Kim got "Get Stoked" from that song in my handwriting from the whiteboard tattooed on her foot. And Kim is like the local music sort of kingpin of Albany. Like, she is just this like force of nature as far as like promoting bands and getting people excited about music. So that to me was like one of the coolest compliments ever, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we all sort of feel like that. You know, I don't have any tattoos, but I tattoo that shit on myself somewhere.
Get the tattoo gun out.
Yeah, get it out.
Jeff just bought a tattoo gun, dude. You get your first tattoo.
You
heard it first. You heard it here first. Yeah. Jay's gonna get Jeff's gonna tattoo "Get Stoked" on Jay's neck.
Yeah, there it is. I'm going forehead, dude.
Yeah, forehead, dude. There you go. Yeah.
First thing you're gonna know about me.
Oh, that's awesome, fellas. Thanks for coming back on. Thanks for talking with me. I can't wait till it lines up where I can see you guys, because I've been itching to ever since you guys first reached out and sent me the album. You know, Life is Too Short for Girth Control. And like and you know, and Arya speaks very highly of you guys. I was gonna try to get him on, and I totally blanked and forgot to tell him. And then when I hit him up earlier, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to practice." I'm like, sorry."
Of course he is. He's got to go.
That guy practices.
He practices. Wow. No, Arya's the best, man. He's
yeah, we love him.
He's the best, and I think we'll be out in Boston. We should be out there in the fall.
Cool.
We'll be at Scottish Dave's in the fall, or more like winter. But you know, we'll be around, man. We've our goal for this year was to go from local ska punk band to regional ska punk band, and I think we've succeeded. We're going to continue this. So if you live in the Northeast, keep your eyes peeled, man. We're going to fucking try our best to be around and play shows and
maybe beyond.
Maybe beyond the Northeast.
Maybe even breaching our regional boundaries a little bit this year. So we'll see.
Awesome.
We're going post-regional. 2020, 2025 and 26, we're going post-regional.
Post-regional. Where can people find you guys? Where's the best place to buy your music? Where's the best place to stream it? All that stuff.
Bandcamp is, I think, Girth Control at bandcamp.com.
Yes,
bandcamp.com. That sounds right.
It's not Girth Control 69?
No 69 on the Bandcamp.
Oh,
no.
Thanks for checking, Trev. I'm not sure.
We got it up right here.
Yeah, we're on Instagram at Girth Control 69. I think that's what most of the things are. It's 69, Girth Control 69. And then we're on all the streaming things. Just look up Girth Control. We're there.
Right on. All right, guys. Listen, let's do this again. Especially let's do this again. Maybe if not for this album, but for one of whatever you guys do, just hit me up. We'll probably be back on. I don't care if it's tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll be prepared. I'll bring some malt liquor for myself this time.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, we're getting 40s next time.
We'll do the next one in person. We're coming to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, we're gonna come. You want to get fired, right? We're gonna come to your office with 40s.
I don't have an office, dude. I'm a grunt.
Well, we're gonna come to your place
Location?
of work. We're gonna come to your job site with 40s.
Yeah.
Kidnap you.
Like an
Be
old
awesome.
school.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.